Hi everyone, this is Sally again. And today I'm very excited to be chatting with Locky Gould. And Locky Gould is a senior practitioner with a training and wellbeing organisation called the Pillar Practice. So hi Locky.
Hey Sally, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. So thanks so much for coming on and having a chat. So I just thought we'd have a bit of a chat about the Pillar Practice and the Pillar Program. So yeah, as I said, you're a senior practitioner with this training and wellbeing organisation called the Pillar Practice, and I'm very blessed to have just recently been trained up as a practitioner as well. And so how many years have you been taking people through the Pillar Code program?
Yeah, so before it was the Pillar Code, we were doing the Pillar Practice program, and it's long 9-month form. It's now been condensed to 3 months. And so I started September 2015, so it's been almost 4 years. Yeah. I've been taking clients through the Pillar Code.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'm really excited about the whole program because I've taken a few clients through too, but I thought we'd come on and have a chat about some of the results that you've found your clients have experienced over the 4 years that you've been taking them through the program.
Yeah, cool. So we've worked with a really wide variety of clientele, and people have either had mental, physical, or lifestyle blocks. So mental blocks could be things like anxiety, depression, addiction, suicidal ideation. Physical blocks could be more around physical pain, cancer, diabetes, migraines, headaches, any sort of physical ailment going on. And then lifestyle is more about people who feel that they've lost their path, purpose, and direction in life. Could be relationship issues. Could be that they've just lost passion within their life. So we work with people from all different spectrums, but with the understanding that lots of the stuff that's going on as block can come from like a deeper level of the mind, whether that's a conscious, subconscious, or unconscious levels, where we've got to identify the blocks to help remove them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that's part of the beauty of the Pillar Code program is that it's identifying blocks and then shifting them out of their life, if you like, and taking that weight off your shoulders and moving forward. And it's really interesting how it works on all different levels. As you said, it's working on the mind level, on the body, physical things as well, and deeper level stuff. So yeah, I know with some of the clients that I took through, just overall, people have come out the other end with a greater sense of calm in their life and peace, able to deal with things a lot more effectively. So you were touching on like anxiety before, like, you know, feeling more confident within themselves, more settled with their everyday life, just makes it so much more enjoyable and has so much more happiness and fun in their life as well. I found that myself going through the program, that I've just let things go, just let a lot of things go and just deal with things come at things in a more peaceful and calmful way, if you like, and just dealing with my everyday challenges just a lot more effectively, sleeping better and just, you know, happier within myself. It's just been really awesome. So, yeah, like when we talk about the Pillar Code program, we're basically getting messages for people where they're blocked, just going through the program, 12-step program, and we're honing in on what messages are relevant for them and the stage that we're working at, finding those blocks and then just sort of treating them and shifting on and moving forward.
Yeah, and it's you touched on something before around calmness. So we talk about calmness and that state of peace being the foundation for the program. Mm-hmm. So that's the primary result people feel is a state of calmness. So no matter what's going on within your life, it can be really, really busy. You can have a million things on, but if you can connect back to that feeling of calmness, what you're doing is you're moving more into that parasympathetic system, which is where you can start to rest and digest and calm everything down. But unfortunately, with the way that today's society works, is we've got too many triggers that are triggering people into more of the sympathetic nervous system, which is increasing your stress. And as we know, stress can lead to a lot of issues mentally, physically, emotionally, and lifestyle factors within their lives. So unless you can connect with ease back to calmness, and that's what we really focus on, is teaching people techniques, techniques that people already know. So things like meditation, mindfulness, gratitude, positive self-talk, those sort of things. But we've just got, I guess, the Pillar Practice's own spin and interpretation on those different exercises.
Yeah, I really love it because, I mean, it's a 24/7 world. It's constant. And as you said, stress, it's sort of the number one thing affecting everyone around the world. It's stress and that lack of energy, you know, trying to do too many things and getting overwhelmed with everything and relying on a lot of Band-Aids to get through life, you know. It might be, you know, substance abuse or whatever it is. It's just like, it's quick fixes just to keep going and keep going and keep going rather than stopping and getting into that place of calm and peace, because that's been probably one of the biggest outcomes for me, is that I can deal with things a lot more effectively, peeling it back, getting rid of all the excess sort of stuff that's going on and just going, well, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's like, let's get back to that state of calm. And as you touched on there's lots of tools that we get through the Pillar Code program and that help you every day, because like with anything, it takes practice to create new habits or behaviours and things. So you've got these tools that support you along your journey, your journey of healing, really, of getting you back into a much better state in life, you know, having a more comfortable life that you enjoy getting up for every day, rather than go, oh no, not this bullshit again, the same old stuff, same old stuff. It's like, yeah.
And that's the issue though, is the fact that no one's really been taught the tools to be able to cope. And before, back in the day, it was more around repression. So it was seen to be weak to express issues within your life, whether it's to your partner, whether or not it's to your friends. And so what happens is, and what we're seeing in the Victorian Royal Commission into mental health is, I just saw one of the ex-AFL premiership players was saying back in his day, he was like the best of the best. And he won a premiership, but he was so besotted with these emotional and mental health issues, but he didn't have anyone to turn to. So we know with humans and with society, isolation is one of the most dangerous things. So the more that we isolate and the more we don't have those support mechanisms in place, the worse people will get. And that's why we're seeing such high levels of suicide, anxiety and depression, PTSD in the world, is because those systems and support mechanisms aren't in place. And so that's why it's great that the Victorian Royal Commission is addressing that and starting to focus into mental health, because things like anxiety, if you look at all the cancers that's within Australia, all the cancers don't equal to as much anxiety levels as there are, because 1 in 4 people within Australia have got anxiety or will have anxiety in their lifetime. It's huge, but apart from medication, and there's some psychological programs out there, but there's really not that much that helps sustain people's mental health at the moment.
Absolutely. And, you know, and getting onto that, it's, if we can get into it like preventative measures, you know, getting tools in place to help support you as you're journeying through life before it gets to that critical phase where you've really tipped over the edge, you know, and it's being aware and using these tools early on so that you can catch yourself before you really dip down. Yeah, absolutely. It's super duper important. And also, I think also getting that balance, you know, touching on before about, you know, internalizing things and, you know, being a little vulnerable and thinking it's a sign of weakness. Well, it's getting that balance between being resilient and vulnerable as well, because vulnerability is a strength. It absolutely is a strength. Balancing it with resilience as well.
And that's why I like Brené Brown, what she's done in terms of bringing vulnerability to people's consciousness is great, because that's completely, that one person has shifted our perception of vulnerability. And so what we do within the pillar work is we see vulnerability as a part of strength. So if you can't be strong, you can't be strong unless you're able to be vulnerable. But also you've got to balance that with resilience. You can't be too vulnerable without the resilience. Otherwise you'll just sort of fall over whenever the world sort of mucks you around a bit. But also you can't be too resilient, because that vulnerability is that seed to help you grow. So it's the balance of the two. And we work a lot with balance within the Pillar Code program, because we see most people don't have balance.
It's I love it. And you know, that once you get that balance, it also gives you more clarity in your life, and then it builds up your confidence. And overall, I think that's one of the big outtakes as well from the program, is that people become much more confident within themselves. comfortable within their own skin, comfortable dealing with their external environment, with workplaces and with friendships, relationships, all that sort of stuff. Getting confidence within yourself, because you've got that balance and you're running your own life, if you like. It's not as if you're running on empty and just living in survival mode. You're actually in charge of your own life. You've got control back in your life. It's super duper awesome.
Yeah, and people don't know how to just be them. And people like feel that and this has been around for a long time, where people have looked at celebrities and thought that that's the sort of epitome of who we choose to be like. But then because they don't look like that, sound like that, they're not like that person, they deny who they are. It creates lots of really negative impact. So what we talk about is it's important for people to have full acceptance of who they are, awareness of where their blocks sit within their life, and gratitude for what they've been gifted, no matter how tough things are, because we know through lots of studies now that the more grateful and positive you can be, the better mental health outcomes, physical health outcomes, and lifestyle outcomes you can have. But as I said, unfortunately, people aren't trained in that. And people also trained in learned helplessness, where they're in this cycle of negativity, and it's a trap or a void, and people find it really hard to get out of it. So we've got to almost, with the pillar code, rewire the mindset so people can start to access more positive emotions, rather than being engulfed in this negativity where everyone is. And that's not about denying negative emotions. Sometimes you've got to be angry at some situations, or the fear is a good thing, but you've got to have it in balance. And that's what we don't have. We don't have the balance anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, balance is absolutely there. Yeah. Wow. So, reducing your stress, getting your energy back, and just having a really comfortable life that you enjoy living. I think that's just that's what everybody wants, and just reducing your stress in your life so that you can enjoy the moments more. And as you touched on before, living in the now, like not getting stuck in the past, not worrying about the future, but just like being present now, in the now, and having gratitude is really important. I love the gratitude. I love manifesting, and gratitude is all around manifesting as well. Choosing the life that you want to have and bringing it into your life right now. It's a wonderful place to be when you're living in the now, being grateful for what you do have, and then grateful for the things that you're choosing to bring into your life. It's super important.
And we talk about that as well, like your energy and your focus and your attention expands whatever you're pointing it towards. So if you're expanding the positive and the gratitude, that's what you're expanding. If you're expanding the negative, the doubt, the worry, that's what you're expanding as well. So again, this is about retraining your mindset so that you can start to expand those positive aspects of your life rather than expanding the negative aspects. And also living in truth, because sometimes the truth of your situation can be quite negative, and that's okay, because that negativity can move you and change your direction. And sometimes we require what we call a contrast in order to shift your perspective and take a different direction with things, rather than staying in that same situation, which is again that learned helplessness. So sometimes, and what we do is we teach clients that sometimes those perceived negatives in your life can actually be positive when you shift your perspective on it and see what opportunities you'll grow from that situation.
Yeah. And first step is having that awareness, isn't it? And just being aware of yourself, understanding yourself a bit more, and your behaviors, your actions, your thoughts and feelings, and it's once you tap into that, then you can change things. But when you're not aware of it, you can't change them, because you don't. It's like with the analogy that we have, if you're an alcoholic and you don't understand that you are, then you can't shift or change, because you're living in this illusionary world and not understanding the truth of the situation. So
and this information has been it's not just unique to us. It's been around for thousands of years that people have talked about being more aware of being present, having acceptance of where you are and what's happening in your world. Gratitude is not a new phenomenon, but it's important for people like us and others to re-coach people into being able to be more positive and grateful, because we sort of feel that as a society we've lost that. And if you can connect to that, that's when you can start to see the truth more in what's going on around the world and around you. But
Yeah.
if you're not able to sit in gratitude, you're going to be stuck in this illusion space, which is unfortunately, again, where a lot of the, as PJ calls it, the walking dead is.
Mm. Yeah, I was just about to say, like, as we always say, the world is starting to wake up, becoming more aware of ourselves and our patterns and behaviours and all that sort of stuff. And that's right. It really is time now. You know, worldwide, you know, the general consciousness of people is waking up to understanding themselves and what's going on in their life, rather than just going through the motions and turning off. It really is time, and that's why I'm so excited about the Pillar Code work, because it's just helping people, just really assisting and supporting and providing them with some tools so that they can reshape their life and build a life that they really enjoy to have, with more fun and happiness as well. Because, you know, what's the point of living life if you're not having fun? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And I always say that, I always bring it down to a sporting analogy. The greatest athletes in the world are not just the greatest athletes in the world because they do it by themselves. They've got coaches, they've got mentors, they've got dietitians, nutritionists, they've got everyone there to support them, and it's only through that support that they can do well. And again, I feel that society usually tries to isolate and does everything by themselves. But it's important to have someone who can think outside your little box that you're in, because they can see different perspectives. So whether or not it's a practitioner, pillar practitioner, a psychologist, a counselor, a coach, whoever it is, it's good to get someone to be able to see where you're at from a different perspective of where you're actually at. Because we always say that you're good at looking out, but not so good at looking in, because your biases will come up and impact that. So when you allow people to come and have a look at, with a trained perspective, where you're at, that's when things can shift.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, you know, you don't have to be going on this journey on your own, you know, and as you said, by combining with other people that can help and support you through, you get to learn a lot more about yourself by looking within yourself and pointing things out. So, yeah, Locky, thank you so much for joining me and having a chat about the Pillar Code and the Pillar Practice. And this, you know, as I said, it's a training and wellbeing organisation, and I highly encourage people to, you know, message me or book in for a chat, and we can talk about the Pillar Code and how it might be able to help you in your life and your journey as well. So thank you very much for your time, Locky, and look forward to chatting with you again soon. See you later.
That's right. Thanks, Sal. Bye.
Bye.